Welcome to this special edition of Inside Fall River, Working Edition. And we're calling it the Working Edition because we have two guests who are well known to our community. Robert Melian is the President and CEO of the Fall River Area Chamber of Commerce, and Sally Cameron is Vice President of Communications here at Bristol Community College. Together they are pursuing some new ventures, and we're going to be hearing about those ventures. We know that Fall River has been faced with high unemployment rates for as long as we can remember. The population also has been stuck in a place of having low educational attainment level, and related to that, low income levels. The Chamber of Commerce and Bristol Community College recognize this and are partnering on some interesting projects that they will explain to us today. So Sally and Rob, thank you so much for coming to this special edition of Inside Fall River. And I'm going to ask each of you just to give us a brief statement of the mission of your respective institutes, the Bristol Community College and the Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Bristol Community College is a comprehensive public institution that provides education and opportunity for people in the area. So we have a lot of things that we do, but related to your theme for today, we are really committed to workforce development and giving people an opportunity to get the education they need to build a terrific future.
Great. And the Chamber's mission?
The Chamber of Commerce was created by businesses back in 1911 to represent the interests of businesses. And it was interesting, Steve, that actually when the Chamber of Commerce was created in 1911, it was created to help in an economic crisis at the time. During that period, when the economy was transitioning from the first industrial revolution into the second industrial revolution, and we were moving out of the textile industry into the garment industry, it was the creation of the Chamber of Commerce that helped in bringing the garment industry, attracting the garment industry from New York into the Fall River area to fill those vacant mills at that time.
And some success back then in the early 1900s. So how is the Chamber today supporting building an educated workforce for this area?
Literally, it's blended into everything that we do. All the programming at the Chamber of Commerce is designed to help area employers. Workforce education is part of that equation. And a lot of our programming, you look at for example, the seminars that we produce at the Chamber of Commerce each year. We put on about 40 seminars geared towards workforce education just at the Chamber building for our membership and also to the general public. There's constantly things that are going on there. And at the same time, too, we work behind the scenes, working with the City of Fall River, working with Bristol Community College and our other educational partners, working with area employers to help identify what the skill gaps are and then to fill them. And then simultaneously to connect everybody through communication so that each entity, the businesses, the government officials, and the educational partners know what the other one has to offer and connect them. Sometimes we're that entity behind the scenes, that dark matter that helps get everybody connected and working together with one another.
And Sally, the same question, and particularly this might serve as an opportunity also because we're talking about workforce education. What is that? What is particularly the Workforce Education Institute, and how is the college connecting to the Chamber in that particular entity?
Well, the Workforce Education Institute is a new initiative by President John J. Sprague, who during a strategic planning exercise that we did a couple of years ago, we had an open forum for the community to come and talk to us about some of the things we do well, some of the things we don't do so well. And one of the things that a number of businesses said to us is, I know you've got lots of things that you do for the community, but I don't know how to access them. And so that got President Sprague thinking about ways to make our services for the business community, for the employers who employ our students, who employ our workers in the area, to make those services more accessible to them. So his concept of the Workforce Education Institute is a one-stop for any business-related requests that you have in the area, in all of our service area, not just Greater Fall River, but Greater Attleboro, Greater New Bedford, Greater Taunton. So the idea is to make that one stop, that sort of triage that you can call and get help in finding an intern, having somebody come and teach a class, having a needs assessment done. There's a lot of different possibilities. But the most important thing is that it's the resource center for what we offer.
Great. And I know that we've expanded, and I say we because in full disclosure, I'm part of the community college as a result of being part of Fall River Community Media. And the expansion has been great, particularly down on Duval Street, where there is something called the Workforce and Community Education Center, and there's also something called the Green Center. And how does the Workforce Education Institute fit in with those other two entities? Are they all the same thing with different names, or are they all part of the same puzzle?
The Workforce Education Institute is an umbrella operation that brings together credit, non-credit, everything we do to help employers better educate their workers. Another thing that President Sprague says a lot, and I have to say this, is that we are all in workforce development. Everything we do, whether we're helping people get degrees, whether we're helping people to come back and get retrained for jobs, our job as a community college is to help people prepare for work. That's really critical for our region, and it's very critical for what our mission is. So the Workforce Education Center is the umbrella of our business services. The Center for Workforce and Community Education is our non-credit operation. It's the operation that works with businesses to provide training, customized training for them. We also run our non-credit courses out of there, Kids College. There's a lot of different ways that you can interact with a college that is not just degree education. The name of the building is the Workforce Center. And that was a great resource that we were able to build down on the waterfront at the Commonwealth Landing. Mm-hmm. We renovated the second floor. There's great classrooms there, labs there for people who need access to their high school equivalency diploma, English as a second language, a lot of other resources that are keeping people from being successful in the workforce.
Great. Now, Rob, if you could speak to some of what you see as the benefits of this institute being established in terms of your goal of seeing some workforce development.
Well, the Chamber of Commerce is very excited about the Institute and also the Center on Duval Street, because it is through the work of Bristol Community College that we're seeing many of the skill gaps issues that are prevalent throughout the area here being addressed. And I want to talk to this to some degree, if I could, Steve.
Sure.
You know, we are in the midst of an evolving economy, and we're in a transition. The whole world is in a transition right now. In fact, part of the reason why we have skill gap problem here is because of a transition that took place whether we liked it or not, and that transition was through globalism. You know, we lost many jobs here overseas during the 1990s, during the 80s, 1990s, and into the early part of the 21st century, and that became very acute as a consequence of the recession. So the only way that we're going to come out of this is through an element of self-help from individuals who are getting education, and also through businesses and educational institutions communicating and partnering with one another to provide the means for people to help themselves. And that's what's going on. It is a slow process. The process of preparing the region for the next, for lack of a better descriptive word, industrial age that's coming upon us takes time. but that is what we must do because other regions throughout the country and the world are doing it. And we fall further behind the slower we are in getting it implemented. And that's where I feel that this is very exciting. I feel that this is where, for lack of a better metaphor, the rubber hits the road and we're going to see real results.
Great. And the connection between the college and the chamber is a natural one. Have there been any hurdles or anything that prevented that link from happening?
I think it was just, I don't think that there were any hurdles. I think that we all saw the need and we all met there at the door.
Excellent.
And it's been a very good marriage.
Now I know, and I want to give some time to talk about something that you've put a lot of effort into, and that's your new program called Workforce Connection. We've been pleased here at FRC TV to have hosted the Business Connection. If you could tell us a little bit about Workforce Connection, this new TV program that people are going to be seeing simultaneously, if you will, while they're seeing this, because we're all debuting this in the month of September as we get back to school and hopefully get back to work. So a little bit about the Business Connection, how it's different than Workforce Connection.
Thanks, Steve. The Business Connection was a television show that the Chamber of Commerce created and has been running for about 3 years now. And it was more of a general community-wide show that provided information on a host of different issues. And in doing the Business Connection, we recognized that really what was missing, there are lots of shows that are similar to the Business Connection. Nobody was addressing workforce issues that were relevant to employers, employees, and those who want to be employed. We felt like there was a gap there. And this was an opportunity for us to create something special that everybody could watch and get information that would be beneficial to them so that they could help themselves. And that's why we came to Bristol Community College, because they were the natural partner for this.
Excellent. Well, as we begin to wrap up, I'd like us to just put out there, where's the contact information? Can people just go down to the Workforce Institute on Duval Street to get connected? Is there a website that will get them better connected? And the same if people want to know more about the Chamber, where do they go to get connected? Sally?
The college has a dedicated phone number for the Workforce Education Institute, and it doesn't...
Do you have that number?
I do.
Okay.
It is 774-357... 3646. I'm sorry, but it means info. So you stamp in info.
INFO, the last 4 digits.
And that'll get you directly to the Workforce Institute. And it doesn't really matter what you want to ask about. Even if they don't do it in that office, they will send you to the right place.
In the Chamber?
Yeah, the Chamber of Commerce, it's very interesting because people call the Chamber for everything, Steve. A lot of people know our number, which is 508-676-8226, and they call us for everything, and we expect that. It's actually, we're created by businesses for the interest of business, but getting information out is in the interest of business. People can also communicate with us through our website, and most people Google stuff, so just Google Fall River Chamber, and it comes right up.
And I hope they'll tell us in 30 seconds less the expo that's coming up in October?
Oh, the Business Expo, yes, the South Coast Business Expo. It's going to be October 16th.
Okay.
And it is the region's largest business expo.
And is that at White's?
It will be at White's of Westport, and there'll be over 100 exhibitors. Let's see, Congressman Kennedy is going to be there. He's going to be opening it up.
And open to the entire community,
Yes, it is
right?
open to the entire community, as it has been in other years.
Great.
Bring a business card.
Any great opportunities at the college in the fall?
The
Plenty?
college opens next week. That's very exciting.
Well, the college opened 3 weeks ago.
You're right. It opens the 1st of September, and we are on track for another record number of students.
Excellent.
So we're very excited.
Well, I want to thank both of you for being my guests today in this special edition of Inside Fall River. This is a working edition, and we hope that people will benefit from all that's being offered. Thank you for joining Inside Fall River.
Hi, I'm Wendy Garflip from United Neighbors, and this is Inside Fall River, Working Edition. Today with me, I have 2 guests from the Career Center. Joe Vienna, who is the Career Center Director. Hi, Joe. Welcome.
How are you?
Good to have you.
Thank you.
And Kim Frank, who's the Business Service Coordinator of the Career Center of Bristol County. Hi, Kim.
Hi,
nice
how
to
are
see
you?
So, Joe, tell me a little bit about what is the Career Center and what do you do?
Sure. The Career Centers were established in 1998 through the Workforce Investment Act, and in our region, basically there are three: Fall River, Taunton, and Attleboro. Our Fall River office is located on North Main Street, 446 North Main. People used to think of that as the old unemployment office, so that's where you can think of it in those terms. But we're much more than unemployment office now. We're a career center. We help people find employment services and connect with employers, and certainly do everything about becoming reemployed. We do have some services for people to access their UI system, their unemployment insurance online or through the phone system, but a big part of what we do is to try and find people jobs.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about some of the services that are available? Somebody comes to your Career Service Center on North Main Street, and what happens?
Well, one of the things that we like to highlight is our weekly hot jobs list, and I want to talk a little bit about that because it's been very, very efficient. It looks at the local hot jobs within our region and basically provides that in a list. Connects it with a website that people can look at those particular postings, find out how to apply, and certainly act on it. Of course, at the Career Center, people can have access to that immediately.
Okay, so let me see if I'm getting this
Sure.
right. So there's a list that has hot jobs in this area.
Correct.
And people can come to your center, utilize your computers, find those jobs, and actually apply while they're sitting in your
Correct.
center.
Right. And we have staff there, of course, to help people navigate this. We have a resource room that has all the equipment available for people. We have computers, we have faxes, copiers, phones, staff that are there, and certainly some of the agency volunteers to help people navigate this and apply for jobs. And it's become very, very efficient. And that's why I'd like to publicize this certainly through this medium, because if there's anyone that would like to get this list, we want to make sure that you get it either through email or through the Career Center.
So if you wanted to get it through email, how would you access it? What's the email address?
You could send an email directly to me. It's jviana@detma.org. That's my personal direct email at the Career Center, and I'd be more than happy to add you to the list. And we've gotten really good responses of people getting jobs. So now they're responding back, say, thank you very much, please take me off the list because we've got a job. So that's a very good thing.
Okay, let's give that address
Sure.
one more time. jviana.
@detma.org.
Great.
Now, besides that, we also have a computer lab, and I want to talk a little bit about our computer lab because it's a great way for people to reconnect with some of the skills that they may not have immediately. For instance, Word, Excel, Access, PowerPoint, all of those basic office equipment and software that people really do need to brush up on, they will be able to do that. So very, very important. You have to come into the Career Center. You have to talk to some of our staff. You have to ask for that. It is free of charge. I want to say that our services are free of charge, whether it be for job seekers as well as employers.
So
And
people can come in, you can help them with their resumes,
Sure.
cover letters, you can help them learn skills that they might need, computer skills that they might not have had before,
Right.
and they don't have to pay anything.
Correct. This is why Career Centers are set up to provide free access to this type of service as people are becoming reemployed. The workshops that we do have, interviewing, very important. If people haven't been on an interview in a while, it's kind of a difficult thing to do. So we want to make sure that you practice that you're prepared for that. Resume, very important to make a very important first impression. So we want to make sure that all the details in your resume is applicable to the jobs that you're applying. And our staff is available to work with you through the workshops. We have a job club that we're going to be starting now in September, and very, very good in the sense that people look for work every day for a period of 2 weeks in the morning from 9 to 12. And it has 4 topics to it, which is very important. One is being able to connect with employers through the job club, have also everyday instructions on what to do in looking for work. Something brand new, spanking new is taught every day on how to look for work, a new technique. The third piece is actually doing it. And the fourth piece is results. What happened? What results did you get out of this? And in a group setting, it becomes very good because people support each other,
Right.
and they help each other out. And also, you can't quite fool a group if you haven't done your job search. People will pick up on that very easily. These reality shows that are out there, they really don't have anything on our job club. But why do we do it? Because it's very, very effective. We have over an 80% placement rate through our job club.
Wait, say that again. 80% placement
through our
rate
job club.
through your job
and the
club.
groups
That's
are
amazing.
usually 12 to 15 people at a time. And we ask our employees to come in and present to the job seekers what they're looking for and how they go about selecting people for employment. So it's a great service. We highly recommend people take advantage of that. And another thing that we also have is an on-site employer recruitment. Any employer that comes to us, people can connect with employers directly at the Career Center. You hear a lot about applying online and sending faxes and making phone calls. What this allows you to do is to connect with an employer face-to-face. And I do want to highlight the fact that we have veteran services. We provide priority of service to veterans. Not only is it the law, but it's also the right thing to do. It's what every single member of our staff believes in, and we strive very hard to serve our veterans in the highest priority possible.
That's a wonderful commitment. Moving on to Kim here. You're sitting very quietly here. Tell me a little bit how you work with the area employers to get them involved in this.
On a daily basis, I'm out on the road, constantly meeting with different companies, simply by cold calling, making appointments to reach out to employers. Many employers are not aware of the services that the career centers in Massachusetts provide. So it's usually a very pleasant experience. Whether it's one position that they post with us or several positions that they post with us, we do have two customers base. We have both the job seeker and the employer side. So it's very important for all of us to link both job seeker and employer together to make it a successful journey.
Good matchmaking.
It is. It's goodmatch.com.
That's good.
But so I do outreach to many companies, personally, and I believe that it speaks volumes by meeting face to face with the employers.
Absolutely. I remember that when I first came into my job at United Neighbors, I had to hire someone, and very stupidly, I put an ad on Craigslist. And within a week, I received 700 resumes.
Oh, yes.
And there was no way that I was going to have the ability to go through them. I was looking for a health and human service related job, and I was getting car dealer people, and I was getting nannies.
This is the nice part of what I do and what the career centers do. We look at ourselves as an extension of your HR department. So we're able to get out there and assist all of these mom and pop stores, companies, or large companies, and I can't tell you how openly, they accept us, because we're taking a lot of their burden away, because maybe they weren't able to hire as many people to help them in the human resource department. We're alleviating a lot of their work, whether it's pre-screening resumes, pre-screening candidates, setting up the recruitments, which is another big part of what we do at the Career Center with several employers. We've done that. We also hold industry briefings. Industry briefings help the community largely, because it's now again linking the employer and the job seekers together. The employers come in. Everything at the Career Center, first and foremost, I have to reiterate what Mr. Vienna had said, is 100% free.
Even for the employer?
Even for the employers.
That's
yes.
amazing.
Yes, so we do offer many services. We provide, separate rooms, employer rooms for the employers to come in, so they are able to facilitate one-on-one interviews with the job seekers, or again, back to the industry briefings, we advertise for them or with them, and we, let the community know when we're having these industry briefings, what field, whether it's healthcare or, whatever, technology or manufacturing or transportation or whatever it is. We're able to provide those services. We post their positions, and then we get, the community
That's terrific.
to come in.
So tell me a little bit about the National Emergency Grant. I understand there's a new grant here now.
Yes, we recently applied for a National Emergency Grant, recognizing that in the manufacturing industry over the years, traditionally there is a high turnover of people. Companies will hire, then they will lay off people. A new company will come in, have some work, then lay off those workers. The workers will go and work in another company. So traditionally, that turns over every year. We also know that that has a specific effect on other industries, other related industries. The retail industry, it affects the transportation industry, it affects all the supportive services, shopping, et cetera. So Bristol County Career Centers looked at putting together a national emergency grant to try and address this particular issue. So we were successful. We've identified 16 companies that are presently available for this service. We're going to try to add other companies as they come on board. But what does that mean? It means that the folks that are laid off from these companies can come to us and look for assistance through the National Emergency Grant for vocational skills training, or for job search services, or for looking at other fields so that they can become more skilled and become more employable, not just in that particular manufacturing field, but also in other fields. So that long range, we expect that this will help in reducing the overall unemployment insurance rate for the region. And it is specifically for that purpose that this grant was put together.
And what does the user have to pay to be part of this?
Absolutely free. They would have to be affected from one of the 16 companies. There are a lot of companies there. I think we have them listed. And if you have questions, you can certainly call the main number at the Fall River Career Center, 508-730-5000. I'll name some of them: A.L. Ellis, Alliance Paper, American Dryer, C&E Industries, Corporate Image Apparel, Griffin Manufacturing, Lightalier, Victor Residential, Swan Dyeing, Reflect, Rock 10. There's a lot of companies, so, and the companies that will be changing, we'll be adding companies to it. As we see layoffs, we will do that. So please call the Career Center, and we will let you know if you're available for one of these funds. But what that means is that our staff will work with you to look at training options, and also with the employers to help you find other employment for the future.
So tell me a little bit about the Herald News insert. This is a new thing too. And we're coming up to the end, so we're going to have to move a little quickly.
We have done the insert with the Herald News a few times now, and we find that it's been very, very informative to let the community know what events are taking place through the Career Center or in the city, period. So this is just a sneak peek as to what the cover of the insert will look like.
Hold it up again. It looks good.
It looks good.
It looks great, actually.
And when will it come out?
This will be distributed in the Herald News on September 28th, which kind of leads us into the next situation. We have a job fair coming up October 2nd over at the Fall River Government Center, where we'd like to welcome any employer that may have one position or several positions available. Again, 100% free of charge for any employer to attend. We've done several in the past where we've had 50 to 60 employers show up and 1,400 job seekers come in. So we've been very successful. The one thing that we do, talk about in the insert itself is dressing professionally, having a professional resume, giving you that 10-minute elevator speech to meet with the employers so that it opens a door, hopefully, for an interview for people.
You're setting everybody up for success.
We certainly are.
And that is amazing. What I'm taking from this interview, as we're closing our show, is that you are an organization that cares about the people of Fall River, wants to put them back to work, is willing to retrain them, is willing to make the connections, and all people really have to do is show up. So tell us the address again.
446 North Main, Fall River, 508-730-5000. And we want to make sure people know we have money for skills training as well, not just those companies. So avail yourself of the services at the Career Center. Come in and work with us. We want you to feel comfortable using our center services. And if you're in the office, you can always ask for me because I'm typically there.
Great. So thank you, Joe, and thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
And I hope that lots of people come to see you to get new jobs in the Fall River area. This is Wendy Garflip, and this is Inside Fall River.